Everyone practice.
Yes, sir.
Arey.
Hello.
Yes, yes. Everyone practice, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Get. Okay. Okay. See. Yesterday we see about theoretical definitions. See, we'll discuss. Okay, so we'll create the tables and we will see about constraints. So here I'm going to create the employee tables. One minute. Okay, see, here I'm going to create a few tables here. So okay, so this is called a script preparation. So if you want to make it any changes in the production, so usually we'll make it like this. This is called script. So if the table is already present, I need to drop this table. Okay, so what are the tables I'm going to create here? So just I'm created as a dropping that. If it is already exists, it will drop and recreate that. So if I use this now, here I am going to dropping the tables. Here I am creating it, and I am inserting the required data into the tables. This is like an insert statement I have prepared. Okay, so after that I am creating the DPT table. I am inserting the records in that. What are the departments we have in this? Okay, so bonus table. The bonus table does have only if you want to upgrade any bonus information in this. So if you want to calculate the bonus information, that need to be inserted in this table. So as of now, we don't have any bonus information for any of employee. Okay, so sal grade table we have. So the sal grade table will decide if if anyone having experience in the IT. So if it is in the 1 year, for each year you can there is a slab. So if you have 5 years of experience, 5 into 2, minimum 10 lakhs need to be your current salary. If you are in a 5 years of experience, if you are 4 in the sense 4 into 2, minimum you will expect the 8 lakhs of package. You can expect more also based on company standards that. Okay, minimum you can expect that much. So like that, we have a grade here. So if you are in grade 1, so the salary should be minimum this, maximum this. So if anyone having the salary between 700 and 1200, so that grade is 1, low. Okay, another grade is 2, 12,001 to 1400, 14,1 to 2000. Like this, we are maintaining the sal grade table here. So in the first table, we have the employee table. So employee table having the employment information. So employee number, employee name, job, manager, who is manager of that employee, and which date he joined, hire date, salary, commission, and department number. So this is our demo tables. Okay, now I am creating this. See, the data is created. So in the starting of the table creation, you got the error. So table or view does not exist. Which one? So you are trying to drop the EMP table. The object is not present in your database. Okay, you will get that error. So if you run now, you won't get any error here. So you won't get any error here. See, no error will come here. The table is automatically created by the prior run. Okay, so now I have created the tables, required tables. I haven't mentioned any constraints. Here for employee number, I maintain the not null constraint. I haven't created any primary key constraint, any queue constraint here. Now I want to, so in the yesterday what I said, in the Excel sheet we created the parent table and child table. If you want to build the relation between these, we need parent must and should be a unique key or primary key. The foreign key must be a reference key, a reference constraint. Okay, now here we'll see the data in these tables and we'll decide what is the parent table here, what is the child table here. Select star from EMP. So this is the employment information. Okay, so we have like 14 employees in our organization, 7369 Smith, 7499 Allen. So we have this. So 7369 manager is 7902. So manager is also part of the same organization, same employee table. Okay, 7902. So 7902 4. So Smith manager is 4. Okay, so there is a relation here. Okay, so we can able to build the relation using the same table also with the different table also. Okay, we'll build that relation now. So now you got the employment information having the employment table. Okay, now another table is select star from DPT. Select star from DPT. See, now we have the DPT table. So in the DPT table, what are the departments we have in our organization? That will tell you in this table. So we'll store that different types of departments in our organization. We'll store in this. Okay, so 10th department is accounting. So that accounting department people will be located in New York. So how the Jagan is splitted our capital into multiple places. In the similar, we are going to split our organization into multiple places with the department wise. Okay, so similar, 20 Dallas, 30 sales Chicago. Okay, 40 operations Boston. Okay, so we have 4 departments and 14 employees. Now we haven't created any constraint here. So we haven't created any constraint, but just we simply mentioned the not null constraint. So yesterday I said like this is the column level constraint or table level constraint. This is column level constraint because you are deriving the constraint at the column beside, not at the end of the column definition. It's a table definition. Okay, you are deriving the column constraint at the column beside, column definition beside itself. Okay, so this is not null constraint, column level. Okay, so in the DEPT table, you put any constraints here. I haven't created any constraints. Okay, so employees having the department or inside the department we have the employees, or inside the employees we have the departments. I mean, the parent have the child or child having the parent. If the parent is present, then only the child will be available. Got it? So here the parent is DEPT table. Okay. Inside the DEPT table, it may contain the employees. Okay. So now I'm going to see creating the relations, or I'm adding the primary key to the employee number. I'm adding the primary key to the DEPT table department number. So I haven't created, while deriving my table, I forget to create the primary key for my table. Now I'm going to alter that. While deriving it, simply you can able to mention here primary key. Okay, simply you can derive like this. I forget to create while deriving it, I forget that. Now I am going to derive the primary key for the my existing table. For that, we need to use the alter command. Alter table DEPT add constraint name. So constraint name. So CNS underscore PK of a DEPT number. Okay, the constraint name must and should be a valid. Naming convention is very important. If you are providing any name to your child, anyone, if you are putting any name to any child, that name must be a valid name. There must be some meaning. How you are putting the name for your born babies are so similar. While deriving anything in the database, the naming convention must and should be some valid name. Okay, you can able to put ABCD 1 2 3 anything you care. Okay, you cannot put like that. So it is not good looking good. It's not the professional practice. Okay, it's to good practice. Try to use the valid name. Here you can see constraint CNS. So this is constraint name. PK in the sense primary key, department number. Okay, you can able to understand for DEPT number constraint you put for the primary key. Somewhat you can able to understand. You can judge for this. This is for seeing the name itself. You can understand the things, few things. Okay, so I'm like a constraint name, constraint type is a primary key or a foreign key or a not null constraint, whatever it may be you are going to add, you need to put like this primary key of DEPT number. Now I have created this. See. Now I'm going to derive the table. I'm going to see my table definition. Table definition. See, right click and go to the open declaration and select for the SQL. and I will get it. So right click, open declaration, and go to the SQL. Approve. What happened here? I'm not getting the information. Okay, let's see. Usually you will get that. Otherwise, we can see for the another table, right? Not in this one. We are getting all the information except this. Okay, so we are not getting the information here. So we have another way here. So maybe you will get it in your system. Try with the SQL. Right click on this. We have some package for that. DBMS underscore metadata dot get underscore DDL. So this will help you to get the table how you created while deriving your table, how you created that, you will get that. I will show you. So this is table. Okay, so EMP table. We are talking about some. If you require the EMP table definition, so we have this function, package function is. See how I have created, I will show to you. In this way, you created the table. These are extra statements. You will get like a, the table will store into the database. In the database where the table will store, table space. So see here, the table space name is users. Okay, this is not your job. So the Oracle DBA people will taking care about where the data need to be stored. So in which schema, which table space. Okay, these things will taken care by the Oracle DBA people. Okay, now see, in the similar way you created the table or not, can you verify in your table statements? We have created the table like this. Create table, EMP number, ename, not null. So DEPT number is the last column. Okay, here see, you will get the DEPT number is last column, EMP number is number, but you haven't get the constraint information here. Okay, you are able to get the all type of information, how the creation is happened from your end. Okay, now I'm going to see if the table is having any constraints. Okay, if you create the table will be stored in which place? The tables will be stored in which place? User underscore tables. If you create anything in the database as a table, all the tables will capture and store into the user underscore tables. So where table underscore name equals to EMP. Okay, we have the employee table in user table space. Now I'm running the same, you are not getting the data here. The employee table is not there in schema. You created the employee table, right? Why it is not coming here? Discussing about that. Oracle is a case sensitive or in case sensitive. So in the sense, case sensitive, in case sensitive. Case or in case in the sense, if you provide your name in the capital letter, I need to read in that capital letter, capital A, capital B, capital C, like that. I need to read in that way. I need to write in that way to compare your name in always. If I store the name in the capital letter and I am trying to retrieve the data in the small letter, it cannot be same, right? Capital A and small a both are same. No, but meaning is same. Meaning is same. Okay, while retrieving the data from the table in how you inserted the data into the table, you need to follow the particular format and try to retrieve the data in the same. Okay, so if you create the table, if you create any database object, Oracle have the capacity to store the data. So the user one is created this table. I need to store into user underscore tables. If anyone is created the constraints, that the constraint need to be stored into the user underscore constraints. We created some constraint here, right? As cons underscore pk dept number. See how the table is created here. Select star from user underscore constraint. And this is the meta object. User underscore constraints. Okay, so where table name equals to MP. Okay, you have the constraint here, employee table. Okay. So we created the DEPT table. For DEPT table, we added some constraint here. So see for the DEPT table first. See, I have provided my name. My name is showing in this place, constraint name. Okay, I have provided the constraint in the capital letter and it is showing for you. Now I am creating the constraint name as a small letter. D name. I'm providing the D name for a D name. So I'm adding the constraint for the D name as well as a primary key. So just I'm trying to create. So yesterday I said like primary key, it allows for one table, you can able to create only one primary key. Okay, I haven't tell I thought. So if you want to maintain uniqueness, based on only one person of family, not with all the people. Okay, if you are maintain like if you want to put any rules in your family, your father can able to put the rules for all the people. Okay, you cannot able to put the rules father and child together. Okay, so you can able to maintain your own rules from your father, not with all the people. So in that case, you need to maintain the primary key, primary preference for only one person. You cannot able to provide the primary preference to two people at a time. Got it? So you can get the columns like a primary mobile number, secondary mobile number. You cannot able to provide the primary mobile number, two mobile numbers in the same column. Why? It is not look like a good. Primary in the sense who is preference, first preference. For table, only one primary can allow here. Okay, unique key. Unique key can allow any number of You have your unique things, your father have unique things, your sister have unique things. You can allow any unique numbers. That uniqueness is for yourself, not for all. Okay, so DPT table. So now I have added the constraint. While adding the constraint, what it is showing? Table can have only one primary key. It is giving the error. Now I am going to make it like a unique key. This unique. So while adding the unique constraint, we need to put any unique key. Will give the error. Simply while adding a unique constraint, we need to use the unique. Now I have created the constraint for a dname column. Now you can verify the things here. User underscore tables, sorry, user underscore constraints. I have created the constraint name in the mixed case, capital letter and small letter both. Now the data is stored in which format? Capital letter here. Okay, so you are performing anything in the yourself. You can put in the capital letter, you can put into small letter, you can put into mixed case, but system will capture your information. That capturing information, the user will, the capturing information, Oracle will store into the capital letter only. If you provide small letter, if you provide the capital, if you provide the mixed case, but Oracle will store the information. The user is created this table. This is the schema. This is the status is enabled. These are all things we have, right? This is captured by the Oracle in a capital letter. Oracle is capturing the information in the capital letter and is storing into the database. Okay, so here this is called data. Okay, see, we created the employee table in which format? Capital letter. Okay, now I am going to use in the capital letter. You are getting the data here. Now I am saying the MP in a small letter. You are getting the same data here. While using the table name in the capital letter, while using the table name in small letter, in the both places you are able to get the data here. Here, the table name is Oracle. So Oracle data in the sense, this is called data. This is called data. Who is performing this action? Oracle is a case sensitive, in case sensitive in the sense, Oracle is a in case sensitive. So if you provide the name in the capital or small, it won't bother about that. It understands that Oracle itself. So he is trying to pull the EMP table. He provide in the small, he provide in the caps, whatever it may be. He won't bother that. Okay, Oracle won't bother about that. It simply get the data from those tables and provide to you. So here, this is called the Oracle is data in case sensitive. Okay, Oracle is a in case sensitive. Oracle won't see the small or caps, won't see that. So this is dealing with Oracle here. You are dealing with data here. Here, while retrieving the data from the table, Oracle is a data is a case sensitive. Oracle is not a case sensitive. Oracle is not a case sensitive. Oracle is data is a case sensitive. Understand? See, now we created the table and it is storing that into the user underscore tables. If you create the constraint, it is storing into the user underscore constraints. Okay. Now for EMP table, you created the constraint here, not null. You haven't provided any name for this constraint. Simply you said like man. Who is that man? The man have some name, right? You haven't provided any name to that guy. So system can build their own name for that not null constraint. System, if your parent have provided any name to you, I can call it with that name. Your parent does not provide any name to you. How can I call you? I can call you a man X, Y, Z. I can put my name and I can call to you. Okay, so in the similar, the system will provide the name, the system itself. If you haven't mentioned anything, simply the system will maintain. See, I'm maintaining that EMP. See, the constraint name it is showing sys_c007261. I haven't provided this constraint name. System is the default it created their own name to that particular constraint. Okay, so the table name EMP, for which column it is created, you are not understanding this. The constraint is related to which column. Now, if you want to understand the constraint is related to which column, you created for an employee number. You are not able to understand here. You have this condition EMP number is not null. Okay, you have this condition. So, but you cannot able to rely on that itself. If you want to know user underscore cons underscore columns. Here the constraint name is sys_001, table name is EMP, for which column is having EMP number column. You understand? So this two table having this table is having like what are the constraint we have on that particular table. Okay, that constraint is on which column. The constraint is on which column if you want to know user underscore cons underscore columns where table name equal to EMP. So this is two meta objects to capture the Oracle will capture and store the information about constraints in these two meta objects. This will give the what are the constraints we have in that particular table, user underscore constraints. Okay, so user underscore cons underscore columns will provide the detailed information like which table having that particular constraint which on which column. Okay, so this is about constraints. And this is about only primary key. Okay, we added the not null constraint. Now the EMP table is already having the not null constraint for the employee number. Now I am going to add another constraint. So constraint name for EMP table I need to add. So I am adding constraint primary key of a EMP number. So now the table is added here. Now the table is added. See, now the table is having how many constraints? So constraint type C, primary key, if I added the primary key, the constraint type is P. Constraint type C for not null constraint, because not null constraint in the sense, if you are inserting any data into the table, the value is present or not, need to be verified. Value is not present in the sense you are pushing the null value into that. Correct? So you need to verify. It is validating the data, checking. It is checking the data, what data you are going to insert into the table. That is called a check constraint. Not null constraint and check constraint will have the constraint type is C only. Check also it is validating the data. Not null also is validating value is present or not. It is verifying it. That is called checking. So we created the DEPT table INIQ and primary key both, right? See, if I see DEPT, primary key, unique key. If you create the primary key, it creates the constraint type as P. If you create unique key, it will create U. You can able to judge using that as well. Okay, now similarly you can able to add. If you forget that constraints while deriving the table itself, you mistakenly forget that creating the constraints for that particular column, you can able to alter that later like this. Okay, now we'll see the constraint can add like this. Now I'm dropping the employee table. I drop the employee table here and I'm adding the. So simply you added the constraint name here, not null, constraint name. Now I'm adding the user defined name here. Constraint name, primary key. So here what it is, EMP number, right? Now I'm creating the employee table. See now, if we see that, the constraint name is defined our own name. See, the constraint name has been changed. CNFPK EMP number. Okay, if you want to provide the constraints, your name or whatever the name you are going to provide, that name can be visible for you. If you haven't provided your name to the constraint, the system can generate automatically some name. System will provide some automatic name. System defined the name can provide it to that particular constraint that will show to you. Okay, so this is about check constraint. Similar, everything will be same except a foreign key constraint. We'll see about foreign key constraint. Now we created the primary key, we created the not null, we created unique queue, and you can able to create the check constraint also similar. Okay, I have provided each and everything in the detail here. You no need to worry. Not null constraint. If you want to add a not null check constraint to the table, simply use the check and the gender and all those. You can able to put all the things. Okay, so we'll see about the reference constraints.
Sir, one question, sir.
Yes.
Sir, how can I add a multiple primary key in if he required in one table?
Yeah, we will discuss. Not yet completed, man.
Okay, sir.
Not yet completed. I will discuss. Composite primary key we have, right? I will
Okay,
let
sir.
you know. I will let you. So now I'm dropping all the tables and I'm recreating. My table does not have any constraints. Okay, now I don't have any constraint. My employee table is having only primary key column. Okay, my department table does not have any primary key or any key, it does not have anything here. Now I am going to add the primary key for my tables. Sorry, foreign key for here. DEPT table is the parent table and the employee table is the child table. Okay, so employee table is the child table. Now I am adding the constraint for my table. I'm adding the constraint, else I am going to create the employee table without the parent does not have any primary key or any key. See, now I am going to add the reference of DPT number, DPT table. So simply you can able to put the foreign key constraint using reference. Else you can able to put the constraint name, foreign key of which column you are going to providing the foreign key, and which column you are on which table you are taking the reference. Okay, so first we will see the normal thing, references of DPT table and DPT table of DPT number column. I am taking the reference for this employee table. I am taking the reference for DPT number column. So while deriving this, you will get the error. So missing left parenthesis. This is called the foreign key constraints can be defined at the table level and as well as column level. If you want to define like this, we need to be maintained at the column level. Just I am mentioning the column beside itself. For that, you no need to mention. I am going to take the reference for this column again. Okay, now see, now I am going to create the table. The name is already used by existing object. So now I am dropping that. Table drop. What it is saying? Non-matching unique or primary key for this column list. No matching unique or primary key for this column list. So whatever that, see, cause here a reference class is in create or alter table statement gives a column list for which there is no matching or unique or primary. So whatever the column you are taking in the reference list, reference what the table, DEPT table you are taking the reference. Which column you are taking? DEPT number. For this DEPT table column, in this table for DEPT number column, you don't have any primary key or unique constraint for that. Already said yesterday, if you want to maintain the primary key parent table, the parent ID must be primary key or a unique key. Then only you can able to build the relation. Then only you can able to build the relation. Yesterday I show you like parent Shiva having like 2 childs. Okay, again I inserted the same parent with the name same Shiva. Now how can this child people can get confused, right? You cannot able to wait. What we will see. Yesterday we created that. This is like a parent. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So child ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here I am taking the X, Y, Z, A, B. So this is called ID, this is name. Okay, this is name and this is like a parent ID. So I'm while taking that 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so while inserting the data into the child table, if you take the reference of this table, okay, if you want to take the reference of this table, Here you have the INIQ records for this one Shiva. Here you are taking the only X and Y, you have the two child. These people are taking parent ID is 1, 1. If this parent table does not have the primary key, you can able to create another Shiva also with a same name, same ID, can able to provide okay, Lakshmi Reddy. So he have the another name with the same employee ID, same parent ID. The child get confused here. My father here. Who is my father? The child get confused. Because of that, to avoid the confusions of the child, you can maintain the INIQ data into the parent table using primary key or INIQ key. You cannot able to create the duplicates in any one of the constraint, primary key or INIQ key, correct? So I can maintain that and I can provide that, try to provide the build the relation with these two tables. Okay, so now I am going to create the primary key for my table, for DBT table. So I am going to create the constraint for my table. Now I am going to create the table now. You got it? I created the, for DBT number parent table, I have added the constraint. Later I am trying to build the relation again. Now it is allowing to create the relation because you don't have any confusion, you don't have any issues with the primary key constraint now. Got it? Any doubt? Any doubt?
Primary key.
So see, ఇక్కడ పేరెంట్ టేబుల్లో 1 2 3 ఎంప్లాయీస్ 3 పేరెంట్స్ ఉన్నారు. ఓకే, చైల్డ్ టేబుల్లో 1 2 3 4 5 చైల్డ్స్ ఉన్నారు. సో XYZ AB అనే వాళ్ళు నేమ్స్ వాళ్ళవి. వీడు X అనేవాడి యొక్క పేరెంట్ ఏంటి 1 తీసుకున్నాం, రెఫరెన్స్ తీసుకున్నాం. వీడు 1 తీసుకున్నాం. ఇప్పటి వరకు బాగానే ఉంది 1 2 3 4. సో 4 అనేవాడు రెఫరెన్స్ లేడు, ఇటు అలో చేయకూడదు, నీకు ఇది రిస్ట్రిక్ట్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, ఇప్పటికైతే రిస్ట్రిక్ట్ చేయలేదు, నీకు ఈ మధ్యన రిలేషన్ అనేది ఏం లేదు, నువ్వు డేటా అనేది బిల్డ్ ఇన్సర్ట్ చేసినావు డేటా. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ ఏమైంది, ఇక్కడ ఈ టేబుల్లో 1 అనేది శివ ఉన్నాడు, 1 అనేది లక్ష్మి ఉన్నాడు. ఇప్పుడు వీళ్ళు రెఫరెన్స్ తీసుకునేటప్పుడు పేరెంట్ ఐడి 1 అంటున్నాం. ఈ 1 అన్నప్పుడు ఈ 2 చైల్డ్స్ సంబంధించిన వాళ్ళ, లక్ష్మికి సంబంధించిన వాళ్ళ? నీకు తెలుసు శివాకి సంబంధించిన వాళ్ళని, సిస్టమ్ తెలుస్తుందా? జనాభా లెక్కలోకి వచ్చినప్పుడు తెలుస్తుందా? అర్థమవుతుందా? సో ఆ ప్రైమరీకి అనేది లేకపోతే ఆ టేబుల్, పేరెంట్ టేబుల్లో నువ్వు రిలేషన్ అనేది మెయింటైన్ చేయడానికి అవ్వదు. నీ టేబుల్లో డూప్లికేట్ డేటా లేదు, కానీ ఫ్యూచర్లో నువ్వు డూప్లికేట్ డేటా ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయొచ్చు. అప్పుడు నీకు నాకు రిలేషన్ మధ్య బాండింగ్ ఏర్పడినప్పుడు పేరెంట్కి చైల్డ్కి మధ్యన నేను అప్పుడు కొత్తగా డేటాని మళ్ళీ పుష్ చేయలేను దాంట్లోకి. అప్పుడు పుష్ చేస్తే నాకు ఎర్రర్ రావచ్చు కదా, అప్పుడు రావాలి కదా. ఆ ప్రాబ్లం అంతా ఫ్యూచర్ వచ్చే ప్రాబ్లం ఎందుకు, నేను ముందే రిస్ట్రిక్ట్ చేశాను అనుకో నా పేరెంట్ టేబుల్లో నా పేరెంట్స్. సో ఇన్ మై పేరెంట్ టేబుల్ ఇఫ్ ఐ మెయింటైన్ ది iniqueness of data, I won't get any issues later. Because of that, I am going to restrict the parent records at the table itself. Then I am trying to build the relation with these two tables. అర్థమైందా? స్టిల్ ఏమైనా డౌటా? ఫస్ట్ రెఫరెన్స్ కి వదిలే, ఫస్ట్ పేరెంట్ టేబుల్ కి ప్రైమరీకి ఎందుకు తీయాలనేది అర్థమైందా? పేరెంట్ టేబుల్ కి ప్రైమరీకి ఎందుకు ఇవ్వాలి అర్థమైందా? ఇప్పుడు రెఫరెన్స్ కన్స్ట్రైంట్ ఎందుకు ఇస్తున్నా నేను? నీకు మీ నాన్నకి ఇద్దరికి లింక్ చేయడానికి కోసం రెఫరెన్స్ కన్స్ట్రైంట్ యూజ్ చేస్తాను, అంతేనా? ఇప్పుడు ప్రైమరీ కీని బిల్డ్ చేసిన, ఇప్పుడు నేను ఎవరికి రెఫరెన్స్ ఇవ్వాలి? ఇక్కడ డిబిటి నెంబర్ అనేది నీ ఐడి, సారీ ఇది నీ ఐడి, ఎంప్లాయీ నెంబర్ ఈస్ యువర్ ఐడి, డిబిటి నెంబర్ ఈస్ యువర్ పేరెంట్ ఐడి. While inserting the data to this column, I need to take the reference whom? Parent. Parents will be in a parent table. So parent table is here DPT. I'm taking the reference of the parent table of parent ID. Here parent ID is the DPT number. Understand? Or we need to build the same table here if you need. We create the parent table and try to insert the same data if we require. Understand? For this reason, this is called column level derivation. This is called column level derivation. Okay, the table constraints can be created at two level, table level and column level. This is called a column level. Okay, so now if I want to make it like as a table level, how can? Now I'm dropping the table again. If you want to make it like as a column level, as a table level, simply we need to mention at the comma for all the column definitions, completion of all the column definition, and need to provide it that reference. Now I'm trying to create the reference constraint. Here you cannot able to create directly. You cannot able to take the reference. So you are taking the reference for whom? For whom I need to take the reference? You are taking someone reference. That reference is related to whom? That you need to mention here. For that reason, you need to maintain the constraint name foreign key of you are taking the foreign key relation of whom? DPT number. This foreign key is related to employee table, not a reference table. Here you have the same column, you won't get confused here. You can say D number. This is related to this column, foreign key. Okay, so if you want to make it like I say foreign key and column level and the table level, you need to use the foreign key. Else you can able to make it like as a simply reference constraint. Foreign key and the reference constraint both are same. So now I am making like a employee table. See, the table is created now. Okay, I am trying to push the data into employee table. Now I am trying to push the data into employee table. Here you are going to insert the values 20, 30, 20, 30, 10 only department values. Now I am pushing the data. It is not provided any error here. You get succeed for all these statements. Okay, you get succeed for all these statements. Start from EMB. Can verify the data is allowed here. Okay, now I am rollbacking the statement. I'm rollbacking. Just I roll back. This red symbol is the rollback. This is commit. Okay. So I'm pushing the data 20. It is allowing to insert. Now I'm pushing the data like a 50. The parent 50 is not present in a department table. Okay. So here we maintain the 7369 already, right? See, now I am going to insert with the 7499 another record. Okay, another record with the 50. What it is showing? Integrity constraint. Integrity constraint violated. Integrity. You are maintaining the relation integratedly. So you and your parent having the relation. For that reason, it is showing integrity constraint. Primary key for unique key, not null constraint, check constraint. These are all normal constraints. There is no relation between you and the parent. Okay, here you have the relation, integrity constraint. Referential constraints or integrity constraints are both same. Okay, so here it is showing like a parent key not found. Because the 50, whatever the value you are taking the reference of the department table, that 50 is not present into that particular table. See, the parents who are available here 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, now you are trying to insert the data other than those parents. He is a fake guy. You need to identify this. This is one thing, parent key not found. Okay, so one other thing like what I said, all the parents does not have childs. I already said all the parents does not have child. Now I'm inserting the data with the valid. Here what we have 30, right? Now I'm going to insert this and have committed. So employee table having like a put in records who are available here 10, 20, 30. Okay, so who are parents available for us? 10, 20, 30, 40. So 40 department does not have any employee. The parent does not have any child. It may happen, right? All the people, all the parent does not have child. May or may not. So this parent, 40th people does not have any employees. Okay, till now any doubt? Anyone? Reference constraint, foreign key is both same. If you want to maintain the relation at the column level, reference, column level constraint, you can take the directly reference of that particular table and the column name. If you want to make it like foreign key as a reference constraint as a column table level, you need the foreign key. The system need to understand for whom you are going to take the reference. That will be maintained by the foreign key. Foreign key of column name. If you provide this, the system can understand. System can understand here. Constraint name, constraint name, foreign key of the name. You are taking the reference for this column. Understand? No more doubts? Anyone having any doubt, please ask me.
Sir.
Yes, Ranjan.
Sir, when we use relation between two table, I use foreign key and primary key. In primary key and foreign key, we use any column or numeric column.
If you want to maintain the foreign key and primary key relation, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Parent table having must and should PK.
Yes, sir.
This is PK.
Yes, sir.
This is primary key column. Okay, the child table may or may not the primary key. I don't bother about that. The parent ID is foreign key constraint.
Yes, sir. Sir, primary key are also used in varchar data type or not?
You can able to provide any data type. I don't bother about that, but I need to maintain the unique data. I need to restrict the null values in that.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, so now if you want to maintain more than one primary key, so see here. Now, if you want to, the parent table is having like a one Shiva, one Lakshmi. These two people are not the same here. You can able to understand. You have the same ID, but these people are does not have the same. Does not same. In this case, you have another fields also in the parent table. Only name and ID. Right? Parent age, parent name, and all those things we can maintain, right? Okay. Now, if we want to maintain the uniqueness using two columns, parent ID and the name, combination of two columns. You need to understand primary key, parent ID, name, parent name. Both, if you can club and see the primary keyness, uniqueness. In that case, you need to maintain the primary key as a composite primary key. Composite. Usually, you will create the constraint for only one column. If you want to maintain that relation for two columns, primary key relation, then we can maintain the primary key of DEPT number, comma, D name. If you maintain that, that is called a composite primary key. If you want to maintain, you cannot able to maintain more than one primary key, but you can able to maintain the uniqueness using two columns, using composite primary key. Using composite primary key. How can you? Simply, I am dropping my department table. I'm dropping my all the tables here simply. Okay, I have dropped and my department table does not have any constraint. See, my table does not have any constraint. Now, I want to make it like as a constraint name, primary key of department number, as well as D name. Now the table is created with a combination of two columns. You can verify the constraint is created for the two column or one column. Where can you verify it? User underscore constraint. User underscore constraint. You have this constraint for CNS PK DEPT number. Okay, so for which column? To understand that, you need to use the DEPT. See, the same constraint name is having for two columns. Department number is the first column, D name is the second column. Understand? This is called a composite primary. If you want to maintain any uniqueness, any primary key of table based on two columns, then you can go with the composite primary key. Okay, this is about constraints. Okay, anyone having any doubt, kindly let me know. I will explain. I'm going to stop here. I have explained that very detail. If you need any more detail, please ask me.